And a very pleasant good evening. As always, it's great to have you with us, folks. I'm Dwayne Lindo. We've been tracking a tropical storm all day long. We'll throw right to Wendy Ross.
Thank you, Dwayne, and I'm going to correct you. First of all, it is not a tropical storm yet. It is a tropical depression, and it just formed at 5 o'clock this afternoon. This is the system we've been watching now for several days. We knew that something was going to happen very soon, and so today it did form into a tropical depression at 5 o'clock this afternoon. And we are watching the system. It's located right here. You can see where the location is. The winds are at 35 miles per hour right now, and it's continuing to move towards the west at around 9 miles per hour. And over the last couple of days, it has been running into all sorts of resistance to allow it to form. But now that it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, it is very likely to become a tropical storm beginning on Monday. You'll notice how much it is going to be strengthening over the next couple of days, up to 50 miles per hour as it starts to make its way back into Florida. You'll notice the track is taking it out into the Gulf of Mexico, and then eventually it's going to be moving back over the state of Florida. So you need to make sure that you pay attention. You can get the app on your phone. That's very important. And stay tuned to our station. ABC 7 will keep you posted all the way through this system. Dwayne?
Wendy, thank you. And with a tropical system threatening southwest Florida, local emergency management is closely monitoring the weather. But as ABC 7's Kate Flexer tells us, this might not just mean rain and potential flooding. It could also mean a step back in the fight against the Zika virus.
Well, Dwayne, whether or not that system makes landfall in Florida, it will likely bring heavy rains and leave behind standing water, making for ideal breeding grounds for Zika-carrying mosquitoes. So far, the vast majority of Florida's cases were contracted from travel outside of the country. But now more than 40 cases have been homegrown, most of them in Miami. The primary carrier of the virus is the Aedes aegypti mosquito, nicknamed the container breeding mosquito, because it likes to lay its eggs in standing water. With that in mind, experts are encouraging people to make sure anything that holds water in their yards is emptied.
We really want people to, after each big rain, go out and empty those containers, flower pots, trash can lids that are upside down, things like that, to prevent the growth of mosquito larvae.
I think prudent steps to make sure that we remain safe and healthy in our neighborhoods and near our children, that's an important step to take, and be diligent homeowners to do what you can to help the city and the county protect us.
Now, for a full list of everyday items in your yard that should be emptied out, visit mysuncoast.com. Back to you.
Kate, thank you. Today is the first day of National Preparedness Month. It's there to remind homeowners it's never too early to be prepared. Sarasota County is sharing tips throughout the month of September on the importance of being one step ahead in case of a disaster. Some examples: keeping fresh supplies in your home, creating a disaster plan, and creating safety plans with neighbors and the rest of the community. We spoke to a few people at Marina Jacks today about their disaster plans.
I have some preparation for it, but not so deep at another places that they have experiencing a lot of hurricane damage.
We usually have enough food and drink that we would be sustained for some time anyways.
Now, National Preparedness Month runs through the end of September, but it's always important to have a plan in place. Now, changing gears, the hunt is on for a man from Northport suspected of attempted murder. 25-year-old Joseph Herrick is wanted by the Northport Police Department in relation to attempted murder charges. A warrant issued by police states they are searching for Herrick due to his potential relation to a Friday night stabbing on Myrtlewood Road. Anyone with any information is asked to call the Northport Police Department. An Englewood man is recovering from injuries after being ejected from his car during a crash. It happened on US 41 near Ortiz Boulevard in Northport Saturday morning. FHP reports Robert Havard was driving without his seatbelt. His vehicle was struck by another car and he was thrown from the front seat. The other driver, Kenneth Moreland, only had minor injuries. Havard was flown to Sarasota Memorial Hospital as a trauma alert. A fatal bus crash is causing chaos in Louisiana today. 2 people are dead following a crash which shut down the busy highway for hours. Police say a charter bus carrying flood relief workers slammed into a highway accident scene following an early morning incident. Firefighters had responded to a site where a pickup truck hit a guardrail. Then the bus hit the truck 2 nearby vehicles, and 3 firemen. Streets were littered with debris and helicopters swept in to transport dozens of wounded victims, 2 of which had already died from injuries.
We got the whole interstate shut down. Get another ladder. We got another fireman that needs to be pulled up. We need some help out here, quick.
Police are investigating, but officials report the bus driver did not have a driver's license and was basically in this country illegally. Major developments in the murder of an NBA star, Dwayne Wade's cousin. Police have made 2 arrests. The superintendent taking the opportunity to also talk about the growing violence in the city and how he hopes this tragedy will bring much needed change. ABC's Ava Pilgrim is in the Windy City with more.
No holding back.
We need to put him in jail and keep him there.
The Chicago police superintendent expressing frustration even as he announces success. The arrest of 2 men in the murder of Nikia Aldridge, the cousin of NBA superstar Dwayne Wade.
She wasn't aware that her short life would stand as an example for what is a clear failure in the criminal justice system here in Chicago.
The 32-year-old mother of 4 was pushing her newborn baby in a stroller, just returning from registering her kids at school when gunfire rang out. Aldridge, an innocent, caught in the crossfire. Her death shining a spotlight on a growing problem in Chicago where murders are up a staggering 48%, nearly all caused by handguns.
Chicago has recovered an illegal handgun every hour of the year of 2016. We recover more guns than LA and New York combined.
The men now charged in Aldridge's murder, brothers, 26-year-old Darwin and 22-year-old Darren Sorrells. Police say the brothers targeted a man working as a driver in the area. When they opened fire on him, the bullets hit Aldridge.
These 2 offenders are the prime example of the challenge we face here in Chicago with repeat gun offenders.
The Wade family's holding a prayer vigil on the city's south side, gathering with friends and community members.
You can't have vengeance on anyone. You can't hate anyone. It's not going to bring her back.
Hoping Aldridge's death and these new arrests will turn a tragedy into a rallying cry and action. Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, Chicago.
The One Orlando Fund has raised $23 million for the Pulse nightclub shooting victims. But experts say that may not be enough. The generous donations are helping the families of the 49 people killed, but it won't be enough to cover medical bills and long-term care for survivors. Ted Miller is a researcher on the cost of gun violence. He says the loss of future earnings for the survivors could easily reach $20 million. That includes those who are now disabled. He also estimates survivors will need another $16 million to help them live a comfortable life. Still to come here on ABC 7, the countdown to Tuesday's primary. What you need to know about the candidates when we return.
Stop living with hair loss, that is. Losing your hair is no fun and no one wants to be bald, but there is hope.
Getting my hair back was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm happy with the way I look now.
I'm very excited about my hair.
I feel beautiful.
I love my hair.
Hair Club offers all proven hair loss solutions backed by our commitment to satisfaction guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied with the solution you choose, Hair Club will apply the purchase price to another proven hair loss solution or transplant more hair at no charge.
It was the best thing I've ever done.
It looks good on me.
Call in the next 5 minutes to get your free brochure at no obligation. It will tell you everything you need to know about your hair loss problem, and it's free if you call now.
I am more pleased than what I had even imagined.
I at least look, I would say, 5 years younger.
I'm 52, and I look better now than I did when I was in my 40s.
I feel great.
And that's not all. The first 100 people who call will also receive $250 off any hair loss solution from Hair Club. Call now.
Are you one of the many Americans who undergo CPAP or BiPAP therapy? How often are you replacing your masks and hoses? Replacing your CPAP or BiPAP supplies every 3 to 6 months is critical to an effective therapy. Bacteria will build up, making you sick, and worn-out straps cause leaks and are just plain uncomfortable. Let Allied Medical Supply Network help. Call Allied Medical to speak to an expert agent that will determine which supplies you need and will set up a schedule for your fresh, brand-name supplies to be delivered right to your door, right when you need them. Shipping's absolutely free, and you may qualify to receive supplies at little or no cost to you. That's right, there's no driving around town or remembering when to order. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today and rest easy.
Call 800-601-0658. That's 800-601-0658.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. You started there right out of high school, learned your trade and did it well. And the asbestos you handled, well, that was just part of the job. If you worked in the trades and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available, then call us. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court.
Call 800-236-4994
and see how we can help. Mesothelioma, don't fight it alone.
Temperatures on the Sun Coast are rising and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. You'll feel cooler than ever when you drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999, or take home a stylish new Jeep Renegade for just $17,999. How about a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999? Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Crucial races will be decided in Sarasota's August 30th Tuesday primary election. One of the top races are the Republican and Democratic primaries for the U.S. Senate.
The race for District 23 State Senate seat is down to the wire in Sarasota County. On the Republican side, 5 candidates are battling it out in a tight contest.
One senator change can have a very dynamic impact on state policy at the state level.
State Rep Greg Stubbe, Doug Holder, Rick Levine, Nora Patterson, and Ray Pilon, all with ties to the area.
To put the rubber to the pavement and really get out there and meet folks.
Many voters feel it's important for every Suncoast resident to exercise their right to vote in these primaries.
What gets passed at the county level, what gets passed at the state level has a lot faster of an impact on your life than what gets passed at the federal level.
On the Democratic side, New College of Florida political science professor Frank Alcock faces Frank Cirillo, a 21-year-old recent University of South Florida graduate.
Really what got me interested in politics was in 8th grade when I watched Obama get elected for the first time. That just sparked my interest. So the internship really made up my mind that I was cut out for politics.
The Florida Senate has 40 seats, 26 of which are currently held by Republicans, and the other 14 are held by Democrats. Some voters not necessarily voting on party lines, but on the issues.
You have to find out how each person feels about the issues that you are interested in.
Now, today is the last day of early voting ahead of Florida's primary election. Early voting ended on Saturday in Sarasota and Manatee counties, but election supervisors in other parts of the state have chosen to add extra days. More than 500,000 voters statewide have cast ballots at early voting sites. According to data compiled by the Florida Division of Elections, another 1.15 million voters have already voted by absentee ballot. Voters will have a chance to decide whether to approve an amendment to the state constitution that supporters say is aimed at encouraging the use of solar energy. The proposed Amendment 4 calls for new tax exemptions for installing solar or renewable energy systems. This applies to both residential and commercial property owners. Constitution amendments require the consent of 60% of voters casting ballots. Now, several of you shared your thoughts on Amendment 4 on our Facebook page. John Beaver writes, "We live in the Sunshine State. It is ridiculous that anyone would want to repress solar energy. Only ones who actually lose is the coal and oil industry. Trust me, they will survive." And Raymond DeVincent writes, "As business sells back their unused power to the utility company and the utility company starts losing money, someone is going to have to pay for that, probably residential homeowners." Families in need have one less thing to worry about, thanks to Good Samaritans in Manatee County. Donors came out to 15 different Publix locations in Manatee County to gather food for the hungry. It's called Stuff the Bus. A bus was parked at each location, and donors were encouraged to fill the entire bus with food.
It is important because we have a lot of families that don't have enough to eat. 1 in 4 of our children go to school hungry every day. And so for us, it's a way to give back because we have the opportunity and the responsibility to do that.
The donated goods will support the food bank of Manatee County. An afternoon filled with bats and bones at McKechnie Field. The Bradenton Marauders celebrating pets at their Bark in the Park event this season. The event encourages fans to bring their dogs to the game and adopt shelter pets. The event is proudly sponsored by ABC7. And if you got to the game early enough, yours truly was on the mound throwing out the first pitch. And you see there that I threw out the first pitch, and I made it to, I think it's Marty. So.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah. I throw like a girl, so it's probably a bad thing if you ever see me pitching. It's not going to be a pretty sight at all, I have to say.
I'm sure you do well.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've been talking about this system for so long, and finally at 5 o'clock this afternoon, it did become a tropical depression. So this is what I'm talking about right here, is this system that's going to be moving into the Gulf of Mexico, and we are going to continue to monitor this storm. As you can see how Cuba has really had an interaction with it over the past couple of days. It was really part of the reason why it wasn't forming and formulating very quickly. And so now that it's going to be moving into the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to have all sorts of opportunities to become a little bit stronger. This is the present track that we think it's going to be taking. And as you can see, it brings it right across the state of Florida from the Fort Myers area northward. It could fall anywhere in that scope. And so this is why we have to pay particular attention right here along the Sun Coast as to what the system is going to be doing. Your app will help you, and so you want to make sure to download that app on your phones, and of course to stay tuned to us, because we will continue to bring you information. And what we're looking at right now is that it is going to strengthen just a little bit. Right now it's 35-mile-per-hour winds, but by the time it makes its way onshore, it's expected to get up to about 50-mile-per-hour winds. And this is what it looks like right now. It doesn't look too impressive at this point, but once it moves into the Gulf of Mexico by tomorrow, the chances are it is going to become a tropical storm. Hermione would be the name, and it will continue to move off in our direction. It's going to move off towards the west and then start to circulate on back. Notice right now we're getting bands of rain that are coming on, and this is all being generated by all of this moisture. And so that's what we're experiencing, and we're getting those tracking across from the east coast towards the west coast. And we're going to still see that for the next couple of hours, and then we're going to get the rain starting to really become quite steady over the next several days, with a 60 to 70% chance of rain. And take a look at the amounts of rain that we're expecting over this period of time. This is going to be cumulative amounts, and notice that we're the bullseye right here. You can see the heaviest rainfall is expected to take place right here along the southwestern coastline, and this would be in excess of 4 inches of rainfall. So we really have to be paying attention. Give yourself plenty of time as you're driving, and try not to drive if you don't have to, because that's going to be a real problem for us over the next couple of days. 95 degrees was our daytime high. We will see our temperatures cooling over the next couple of days, because we'll see more in the way of cloud cover, and certainly more rainfall will help to keep our temperatures lower. Right now it's 90, and you can see those winds are coming in out of the east at 14 miles per hour, so they're moving those showers over from the east coast to the west coast fairly quickly. Temperatures all around the state now in the 80s and 90s, and you can see for our area we're 85 degrees in Parrish, where they've had a recent rainfall. Venice reporting the same thing. Boca Grande down to 80 degrees, again because of recent rains. Otherwise, everyone else is in the 80s and 90s right now. And small craft will be exercising caution for tomorrow. Winds will be out of the east at 15 knots. I wouldn't be surprised to see a small craft advisory in effect beginning Monday and Tuesday. So what we're looking at right now is that we will see thunderstorms developing at the beaches, and this is what it's like for the rest of us. You can see 60 to 70% chances of rain all the way through Friday, and we keep our temperatures right around that 90-degree mark. Dwayne?
Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Rays trying to avoid the sweep today, losing 2 games to the Houston Astros. Rays up 1-0 already in the third. Longoria doubles deep to center, scoring a run to make it 2-0. The Rays sealed the deal in the 8th inning, scoring 5 runs. Tampa Bay comes out with a win in this one, 10-4. It's a rare occasion when sports and politics collide, and an NFL quarterback has certainly ignited a firestorm. Colin Kaepernick of the San Francisco 49ers has been refusing to stand for the national anthem before games, all in protest. ABC's Ron Claiborne tells us the reason behind his activism and the reaction.
This morning, the spotlight on football star Colin Kaepernick for taking a stand by refusing to stand. The San Francisco 49ers quarterback remaining seated during the playing of the national anthem at 3 preseason games. A protest, he says, over police brutality against African Americans. Kaepernick saying in an interview, "I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color," adding, "To me, this is bigger than football, and it would be selfish on my part to look the other way." Some fans supporting him, others outraged.
I don't think it helps the cause any.
It's not hurting anybody.
Online, fellow athletes divided. Former running back Tiki Barber writing that he disagrees with Kaepernick's actions, but defending him for using his platform and brand to make a compelling and polarizing point, ending with the hashtag #IDon'tAgree. Other current and former players criticizing Kaepernick, one of them urging him to find another way.
You have to stand up there with your team and understand that it's this game and what's going on around the country is bigger than just you.
The outspoken quarterback, who is biracial, often takes to social media to voice his opinions. In a written statement, the NFL said players are encouraged but not required to stand during the playing of the national anthem.
More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease a new 2016 Lexus ES350 for only $329, or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities. And that keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. Hotelplanner.com.
Using baby powder or talc may lead to ovarian cancer. $72 million was awarded in a recent talc lawsuit after lawyers found secret internal documents showing that the baby powder manufacturer knew about the link between talcum powder and ovarian cancer for decades, but never told the public. If you were diagnosed with ovarian cancer after using talcum powder on a regular basis, you may qualify for a cash award. Call 800-793-6621. 800-793-6621.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who has taken Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or a loved one took the blood thinner medication Xarelto or Pradaxa and was then hospitalized for internal bleeding, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious, even fatal internal bleeding. If you suffered a stroke, heart attack, or serious internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call us now. Our network of attorneys have years of experience fighting the big pharmaceutical companies and is ready to fight for you. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto or Pradaxa who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You won't pay a thing unless your case is settled. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone.
Please call 800-928-6604. That is 800-928-6604.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease the bold new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419, or enjoy 1.9% APR, just $419, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
A night full of bass instruments today at Sarasota's Church of the Redeemer on Palm Avenue. Musicians of all ages came out for Brass Fest this evening. The festival is a collection of trumpeteers, French horn players, and tuba players, and their friends who enjoy brass music. The musicians come from all around the Suncoast to play their instruments.
The good music, and know that this group has such a good reputation, and it's just part of everything that's going on in Sarasota, and we just love the cultural aspect of being here.
ABC 7's Scott Dennis was the MC at the event. Today, he dusted off his trumpet and played during some of the pieces with the rest of the trumpeteers. Hollywood analysts predicted a slow weekend at the box office, and they were right. But one movie surprised them. David Daniel has the estimates for the weekend top 5.
You have 36 hours to eliminate all the targets on this list.
Mechanic Resurrection, the latest Jason Statham action thriller, opened in 5th place with $7.5 million. The raunchy animated comedy Sausage Party fell to 4th place, grossing $7.7 million. Kubo and the Two Strings moved up a notch to 3rd place. The animated adventure took in $7.9 million.
Come on.
Yeah, hold that thought.
After 3 weekends on top, Suicide Squad settled for 2nd place. $12.1 million gave the comic book flick nearly $283 million in domestic ticket sales.
Who's there?
Okay, man, just chill, all right?
Don't Breathe left its competitors gasping. The horror thriller about a break-in gone wrong opened in 1st place with $26.1 million, double what most experts predicted. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And we, of course, are looking at our next couple of days are going to be filled with rain. That's what it looks like right now because we have that tropical depression that has formed just to the south of us. It's now to the south of Key West right now. And you can see a 60 to 70% chance of rain over the next couple of days. This is what the depression looks like right now. It will be moving into the Gulf of Mexico where it is expected to become a tropical storm sometime on Monday. So stay tuned.
All right. Have a great evening. See you tonight at 11.